It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, we tell you what exactly happened with Vinesh Phogat, right from the time she weighed in well within her 50 kg limit to being disqualified on the day of her final bout. It's the most shocking and heartbreaking story to come out of the Paris Olympics, and what exactly went wrong? And could the IOA have done more here? We'll get you an exclusive interview as well on the show regarding this very, very explosive development. The story of anguish and refereeing errors seems to be the pattern at the Games. The head of state of Romania is now boycotting the Olympics after their gymnast was denounced of the bronze medal minutes after she celebrated. The story behind this controversial episode, and it's a Dogg's life, has taken a whole new meaning for the rapper Snoop Dogg, who has been lighting up the Paris Olympics with his presence and his antics, but at what cost? Apparently, Snoop Dogg is paid an incredible amount for every day he makes an appearance. More of that on the show, but first, the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with news from the Olympics, Team US defeated Brazil 122-87 and secured a spot in basketball semi-finals, where they will face Serbia. A total of 6 US players scored in double figures. Devin Booker led with 18 points, while Anthony Edwards added 17. LeBron James contributed 12 points and 9 assists. The other semi-final match is between France and Germany. Over in wrestling, Cuba's Mijan Lopez became the first athlete to win 5 consecutive Olympic golds. He clinched gold after 6-0 victory over Yasmani Acosta in the men's 130 kg Greco-Roman final. This was Lopez's first international competition since his gold medal win in Tokyo 3 years ago. Food served to the athletes at the Olympics village has come under the scanner once more. Paris Games British Olympic swimmer and silver medalist Adam Peaty has questioned the quality of catering. Peaty said that he was avoiding eating fish because many people found worms in it. The swimmer also questioned the lack of protein options available for all the athletes. Over in boxing, amid the gender row, Algeria's Imane Khalif has made it to the final of the women's welterweight competition. Khalif beat Janjem Suwanafeng 5-0 in the semi-final. The boxer will now face Lu Yang for gold. And in hockey, India lost to Germany 2-3 in the Paris Olympics semi-final. Harmanpreet Singh and Sukhjit Singh scored for India, but goals from Gonzalo Payet, Christopher Ruha and Marco Milkau took Germany to victory. India will now play Spain for bronze, while Germany takes on Netherlands for the gold. Now, very rarely does a day of absolute euphoria result in absolute shock and disbelief right after. An entire country went to bed last night after witnessing one of the most inspiring and unbelievable journeys. That of Vinesh Phogat overcoming all hurdles, the toughest of opponents, to make it to the final of the wrestling 50 kg category at Paris Olympics. The first Indian woman to do so. And everyone woke up to the shocking news of Vinesh getting disqualified, going medalless. It has been that kind of a roller coaster ride for Vinesh, who was disqualified from the final bout, the gold medal match against USA's Sarah Hildebrandt, because she weighed 100 grams more than 50 kgs. We talk of sport being a field where the slightest of margins determines a winner from a loser. We've seen so many examples of it already, right here at the Games itself. But no story could establish that more and with such anguish than this. And to think Vinesh did all that she possibly could to shave off the extra kilos at the end of her 3 bouts last night. 3 grueling bouts where she ruled the mat. At the end of it all, she found herself to be close to 3 kilos in excess. She had to eat to gain energy for the next day, but of course, it was the big final. The fact that this is not her natural weight category did not help. Why? Because she always fought in the 53 kg category. The fact that she had to push herself hard and take a gamble, drop her weight to find a spot in the 50 kg category at the Olympics. Why? Because her compatriot Antim Pangal had made it to the 53 kg one. So all of this meant she was fighting everything. Her own personal anguish of the last whole year, where she stood tall against the authorities and fought for Indian women wrestlers. Her own personal heartbreaks of 2 Olympics gone by without even getting close to a medal. Her ACL injury and surgery, followed by recovery. After all of this, she had to fight her own body. And she did all, gave it her all, more and more than that, over the whole night, whole of last night without a moment of sleep. But she failed. No athlete should have to go through something like this before the night of a big final. She was even hospitalized afterwards because of dehydration. So really, I cannot imagine what Vinesh would be going through. I spoke to AFI president and someone who's present there with the Indian contingent, Adil Sumariwala, just a while back on to tell us what really transpired and how everything panned out to the result of this horrific turn of events for Vinesh and, of course, the Indian contingent. It's a very, very big story that's developing at the Paris Olympics, and it involves the Indian contingent. And to shed more light on that, and of course, the whole campaign so far, is none other than someone who's also a very, very well-established face in Indian athletics. He's the president of AFI. He's an Olympian himself. Thank you so much, Adil Sumariwala. We go back a long way. Thank you so much for taking your time out to speak to us here. My first question, how heartbreaking is this episode with Vinesh being disqualified?
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody who reaches a final and has to be disqualified is absolutely heartbreaking. I mean, there are no words to express it, whether the sort of emotional stress that the athlete goes through, first to reach that level, and then the next stage is you get disqualified. It's really heartbreaking.
What is the position? What exactly happened there? Because give us a bit of how the day panned out. Till yesterday, all was well. But Adil, can you explain what the rules exactly are? Because a lot of people, of course, are also a little confused and unawares. Can you break it down to us?
So it's simple that you have to weigh in before your bout. So yesterday she weighed in. She was the right weight category. If you remember, she had reduced her weight to come into the lower weight category because Antim was fighting in the higher weight category. Now what happened was that after she won her 3 bouts, she went back to the village. Naturally, after you finish your weighing in, you're allowed to eat, you're allowed to drink water, you're allowed to do everything. So the important thing is your weight has to be correct at the point when the weighing in happens. Nothing else is important. That window of 15 minutes that you get for your weighing in is the most important window for your life. So after that, she went back to the village. She knew that she had eaten and that therefore she would be overweight. So she was with the medical team, Dr. Padiwala, right through the night, going into the sauna, jogging, running, removing her hair, whatever she needed to do to reduce the weight. But she was still a few grams overweight when the weighing in happened this morning. So that is it. I mean, I don't know why these things do happen. These things do happen. It's sad that it had to happen to her. And I think the whole Indian contingent is giving her all the support that they can. The government is giving her all the support. The team is giving her all the support. The medical team is giving her all the support. She's pretty dehydrated at the moment because the whole night she was trying to reduce her weight. It's not easy to reduce weight so much. So therefore, the whole medical team is on it. The staff is on it. Dr. Padiwala personally is on it. And but we couldn't get her to reduce the last few grams.
Mrs. Mariwala, we also heard that a lot of efforts were made by IOA also to request the IOC to shift and give more time for the weigh-in. Is that true? And is there a set time that these many hours before the weigh-in has to happen before the bout?
Yes, there is a set time. There is only a small window that is given for the weighing in. And once that window is closed, there is nothing much that you can do. And therefore, the window passed. They've tried everything. The whole team management was on it because they knew that there was an issue. So the team management was ready to put in all the protests that they could. They did everything possible. But then certain rules are rules. And you can't it's like no it's like a race, in 100-meter race. Even if you break the gun by 1,000th of a second, it's still a foul start. So every gram makes a difference, and then there are certain rules, and then you play by the rules. As simple as that. Now it's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that it happened to happen to Vinesh, who's a great fighter, who's a great athlete, a great fighter, and it's heartbreaking for all of us.
Yes, Adil, if I could just ask you to put this in words for us. I mean, it was what a roller coaster ride. It's been 24 hours from almost getting one gold for India to now not even having a medal there in that category. How much of a fight and how heartwarming it was for all of you to witness the last 24 hours in her journey, and how heartbreaking is it now?
No, absolutely. When she beat the Japanese, who had won 84 bouts, not lost a single bout in 84 bouts, and for that to beat an athlete like that, I mean, we were on top of the world, and we were pretty sure that we had the first gold coming in today, but then it was not to be. And I mean, you can't even explain in words what it means. If you've not been an athlete, if you've not competed, you just can't express it in words. And I can tell you that the team is with her. The team is giving her all the support. She's getting support from every single quarter. She is medically, even not only mentally, but medically even down. And Dr. Padiwala is personally looking after her because she is quite dehydrated after trying to reduce her weight. So we are doing everything possible. But also remember that now we also need to focus on the remaining medals, Antim fights today. So that's our next medal hope. So we've passed that. We've crossed that level. Now we need to also focus on the other athletes and make sure that we do well in the other events. So while we give her every emotional support, we also have to focus, and our focus has to now, we have to move forwards, and our focus has to move on to Antim and Neeraj and the others.
Absolutely. You said it well, Adil. In fact, just a few more questions, and I know you're busy there. You're at Paris. I know it's a very, very important moment these next few days. If you could sum up India's campaign, there have been so many near misses. It's not just Vinesh. There's been so many athletes just missed. Has this been a bit of that thing about luck as well? I mean, for everyone, and it's heartbreaking for everyone who's watching.
I don't believe in luck. These things happen. This is sport. This is sport at the highest level. And these things happen all the time. I mean, the best in the world lose. So, I mean, the best in the world can have a bad day. It's just that some of our, like, for example, Laksha, our badminton doubles, yesterday's hockey. I mean, there are times when you really want to, like, but there's nothing you can do because you're playing the best in the world. And these things happen. This is what sport is all about. And it would not be, if this didn't happen, it would not be sport. And we have to take it in and figure out what happened, work on a strategy. These are the things that happened. Because of these things, we didn't do well. These were our faults. This is where we went down. So how do we improve on all of these in the time to come?
All right, just passing the last thought before we wrap this up from you, Adil. Next few days, what's the mood like in the camp? What are you looking forward to, and how are you looking to end this? How's Indian contingent looking to end this campaign?
So I'm not in the village, and therefore I don't know, because I sit on the jury of World Athletics. So I'm not in the village, number one. Number two, talking to the athletes. I think every athlete is focusing on their events to come, those who have not finished their events. And I think the focus is absolutely there. While everybody's sad for Vinesh, I think those who have to compete are completely focused are completely focused on whatever they have to do. So,
all right, Adil, I'll leave you at that. Thank you so much for joining in. Yes, heartbreaking it was, but wishing you and the rest of the Indian contingent all the very best.
thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Paris Olympics has, of course, taken a hit for many things. Their lack of facilities in the Games Village, for one, their disregard for players' safety when it came to the River Seine, their security lapses, and now the refereeing. Many countries have faced the brunt of this for sure, from USA to Argentina, India, of course. Joining the many disgruntled voices is Romania. In fact, Romania is so enraged that the Prime Minister, Marcel, Ciolacu, has vowed that the country will boycott the Olympics closing ceremony. All of this after what seems to be an umpiring blunder, where Romania was celebrating a medal in gymnastics and just minutes afterwards was denied that very medal after the referees made a correction. The entire country is furious.
I have decided not to attend the closing ceremony of the Paris Olympics, following the scandalous situation in the gymnastics, where our athletes were treated in an absolutely dishonorable manner. To withdraw a medal earned for honest work on the basis of an appeal is totally unacceptable.
Now, the situation and the mismanagement of it, rather, has clearly irked the political leader. So what exactly happened? Let me give you a bit of a recap. At the gymnastics women's floor event, Romania's Ana Barbosu was awarded a cumulative score of 13.7 points by the judges for her performance, thereby finishing right behind silver medalist Simone Biles and gold medal winner Rebecca Andreda, and ahead of fifth placed US gymnast Jordan Chales, who scored 13.66 points. So when you go with the initial scoring, it's clear Barbosu has won the bronze medal. Everyone thought so, including the gymnast herself. After the event was concluded, the scores were announced, and the 18-year-old Barbosu started celebrating. Unfurling the Romanian flag, she was, of course, overjoyed. But this is when the USA team intervened and made an appeal to the judges to review one of the moves of their compatriots, Chales. The judges then reviewed the routine and ended up awarding USA's Chales 0.1 extra point, which brought her total score to 13.76 and was enough to take the third position and push Romanian Barbosu down to fourth. The teenager went from all smiles to breaking down to tears. In a matter of seconds, that moment of happiness turned into despair. A crushed Barbosu walked off in tears because it wasn't just about that bronze medal. Romania, who were once giants in gymnastics, had an extended time away from the competition. For almost 12 years, Romania hadn't featured in any final of a gymnastics event, so that medal would have been historic, not just for the athlete here, but for the whole of Romania. And that is why the whole country is angry and they're absolutely dejected, especially with this decision. Even gymnastics legend Nadia Comaneci made her displeasure at this very clear. She said this was like playing with athletes' mental health and playing with their emotions. May sound a bit harsh here, but watching the teenager in tears can be very cruel an image. A young athlete who was carrying the hopes of a nation, an athlete who was made to believe that she had indeed secured a very momentous medal, only moments later to be ruled out by the judges. That would have hurt. Here's the thing, if a finger needs to be pointed somewhere, it has to be pointed to the system that allows decisions to be challenged and reviewed. Teams and players have done this before in gymnastics, but yes, at the Olympic stage and when the results proclaim the medalist to be then altered can indeed be difficult. Because if the judges were sure Chales deserved that 0.1 extra, why didn't they give it right then earlier? Now, it probably comes down to the technicality of the move and the point that it deserves. But that is the beauty of human judges, the margin of error. Once a decision is made, it sticks. Or use the right tools and devices to ensure the error doesn't happen in the first place. Why look at hindsight at all? If that was the call, then shouldn't that stay? The hurt that the teenager experienced, and by that extension, the whole of Romania, is what you are left with at the end of this very controversial matter. Our next story is about Snoop Dogg. Yes, the rapper Snoop Dogg. Some of the athletes have grabbed headlines, have become internet's favorites, and right alongside their popularity, of course, stands Snoop Dogg's. Not because of his main profession, that's there of course, but he's been lighting up the Paris Olympics with his own brand of charm, his antics, and he's just about everywhere. He's like the motif for the games, almost like the mascot. You turn around and he's there, waving the flag or chatting with the horses, dancing about and basically goofing around. You think he's surely loves sport a lot to spend that much time here, or is he here to be the official cheerleader of the United States? Neither. Reports suggest the rapper is making money for every single appearance. How much is Snoop Dogg making here, and has he made the games more interesting with his stint? Take a look.
It's normal for fans and athletes to catch the Paris fever, especially at an event like the Olympics. But at this Olympics, it's the other way around. Feels like Paris is catching the Snoop Dogg fever. The rapper is just about everywhere. If you are a spectator at the games, there is a high chance that Snoop Dogg has attended more events than you have. And if you're a fan watching the events on your television, you will find the man on every sports channel you tune into. Because wherever he goes, the camera follows. And why wouldn't it? Because in addition to his immense fan following, Snoop Dogg makes sure his presence is felt. He started off by carrying a torch through the Parisian suburbs, and then went on to race against the swimming legend Michael Phelps, failing at it too, but that did not deter Snoop Dogg. In the blink of an eye, he moved over to another sport. He horsed around a bit with the participants of the equestrian event. Look at him here, attempting to rap and jive with the horses. Clearly not a sports person, but an entertainer of the highest order. He then paired up with gymnasts Simone Biles and Jordan Chales to break into an impromptu dance that went viral. Now of course he's not doing any of this for free. So what is Snoop getting in return? Well, reports say that for every appearance, Snoop Dogg is getting a modest sum of $500,000. That's right, $500,000 each day and daily expenses. This for being a special correspondent for one of the broadcasters. To put it in perspective, a US athlete gets $37,500 for winning a gold. Snoop Dogg's contract with the broadcasters for a period of about 17 days amounts to $8.5 million. That is apart from the daily allowance. So if there is one person who is reaping the rewards of the games, no matter who wins or loses, no matter what controversy erupts, it's clearly Snoop Dogg. They say every dog has his or her day. For Snoop Dogg, that is every day in Paris.
Time for last serve. We know the Summer Olympics, of course, is what everyone's talking about, but a winter sport is making waves. Nearly 3,500 meters above sea level, an ice hockey match took place in Switzerland, which also had some Swiss professionals from NHL take part. Take a look at the breathtaking visuals. That wraps up Firstpost here today, but do keep watching all of our updates and the stories that we continue to bring to you from the world of sports, and particularly this week, Mission Paris coverage.